Greetings from the past before the time travelers, and welcome back to another episode of The Ladder. My name is Ty, and we left off with this decision with Marianne, and I guess I'm going to free up my schedule because
I guess we can free up a day to meet with you.
I want to be on good terms with her, and I guess this did good for us, yes, as I expected. So,
I don't really need another Maudlin Monday reading about Maury anyway. The book club can function without me for one day. What time shall we be seeing each other? How does lunch sound?
besides, my house is a higher priority over book club. Why, we can hold the next meeting in this place. Surely the beauty and grandeur of it will all inspire spirited and lively debates about whether modern-day writers could match up to the classic. I might as well clear up the rest of my week to handle whatever affairs buying this mansion requires me. Any social activity can be put off until the Ermengarde, or rather the Wright Mansion, great debut. I'll have my fill of great parties and gatherings, especially when I organize them myself.
That sounds good. Although, with a project of this scope, we might need most of the day to tackle your concerns. A more thorough inspection of the place is also preferable.
Breakfast then. It's a date.
It's really not.
Oh, you're cute.
All right. Monday. 10 o'clock sharp. We'll see you then.
Actually, Marianne suggested that we meet at 9, but who is even awake at that unholy hour? I was lucky enough to wake up this morning before Luke went all the way to Cardiff. We say our goodbyes, shake hands, and make it clear without outright saying it that we now own this house. By the time we left the mansion grounds, sunset is almost up upon us.
So, you really want to buy this place then?
Yes.
That's a bit of a big impulse buy, even coming from you. Not that I'm complaining.
I feel elation when I heard those words from him. It's not every day one is able to please someone like Luke. He gives away false flattery to sway those who starve for his attention and approval. But in the privacy of closed doors, he would often express his grievance. He neither censored himself in front of me, nor spared me from his criticism.
You have been saying the penthouse was getting a bit too small for you. Happy anniversary!
Oh. That time of the year already?
Wow. He forgot about it last year too. I understand that he's a busy man, but...
Is that why you want to buy it?
Yes. You don't like it?
I do, but I remember you used to talk about how you wanted to live next to the beach.
Botany Bay, Kent. I remember the sea, water that stretched on for miles and miles, as far as the eyes can see. As a kid, I loved our beach trips, swimming all day as much as I could. I was a well-behaved child, and the only time I was ever truly difficult was when I refused to get out of the waters, even when my fingers had gone all wrinkly. And even when they managed to pull me out of the water, there was always sandcastles. The day before we married, I told Luke that I wanted a house on the beach and a dog. And a kid or two. None of those came true 7 years later.
That was a childish dream. Living next to the beach is so impractical if you really think about it.
I don't know. It's
Always
not a
blushing.
bad thought to see you in a bathing suit every day.
Maybe another time, love. We still have forever, don't we?
He says nothing, only grabbing my hand and holding it tight, as we spent the rest of the ride home in silence. I miss the sea. Sick and hovering over the loo at 3 in the morning, the picture I paint right now is hardly glamorous. A horrible fishy taste is left in my mouth as I throw up what I had for dinner, and I hate the acrid stench that fills the lavatory. The burning sensation at the back of my throat is of no help whatsoever. I can feel another wave of nausea come up on me when the door opens.
Hannah, what are you doing so early out of bed?
Is she pregnant?
I'm fine, love. I must have just eaten something bad.
That is all I managed to say before vomiting again in the porcelain throne. Lovely.
Just go back to bed, Luke. I'm going to clean up here.
I refuse to look at him. I don't want him to see me like this. The last time I had a horrible morning retching into a toilet was during my college years, being the life of the party. Thoughtless and shameless, I had thrown away a month of two frivolous merriment and pointless hookups. I didn't even retrain any of the connections I had made from that time. Sure, they still know of me and I still know them, and we still do business from time to time, but I've lost touch with anyone who I didn't see on a daily basis. I hardly have any of the friends I had when I was still Hannah Evans. Teachers, fellow university students, drinking buddies, and old conquests like Jack.
No, don't
Oh.
touch me, sweetie. It's disgusting.
No.
I'm disgusting.
Luke sits down next to me on the toilet floor to hold my hair, even as I cough up more fish. He wipes the vomit from the corner of my mouth and just stares.
Do I need to fire someone? I don't feel sick.
Just feeling a bit under the weather, dear.
Oh my god,
It's been
he's nice.
unbearably hot as of late, hasn't it? I do wish it would rain.
Are you sure it wasn't those sweets? I told you not to eat those sweets.
Maybe. Well, don't laugh.
Well, I can't help if you make that sort of face.
He starts chuckling, and soon enough, he is in a fit of laughter. The scene happening next to a loo filled with sick just makes the whole thing bizarre, and it nearly makes me start jiggling as well. I try to stifle it though, as I smack him on the shoulder.
I'm not making a face, Luke. Stop laughing. Shut up.
When he wouldn't stop laughing, I let myself go as laughter bubbles from my own throat, and I forget whatever ill feelings plagued me. We're just husband and wife, laughing together at a funny face, the things in life. I let myself go because I know that these moments will not last forever. But if I just know the terrible things that are to come for us, I would have wished with everything I have then and there that the laughter stayed. What?
Hiya! Come on now!
Journal. Holy moly. Oh, this is... Wait, what? Happy anniversary. There, okay. Okay, so this is between the movie and when we were at the mansion. During the open house, Hannah pressured the estate agent to sell her the mansion. The Wrights also met their interior designer. During the ride home, Hannah revealed that the mansion is her anniversary gift for Luke. Things seemed to be looking good until Hannah suddenly fell ill later that night. Oh, that's so cool! You have the different guys parallel. Oh, that's so cool. So, the place is bustling with movers carrying furnishings here and there, along with several trunks of personal belongings taken from a penthouse. Luke watches them like a hawk, making sure nothing is handled carelessly or gets stolen.
Careful now. I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African Blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings. Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
Luke, do the dishwashers go into the kitchen or the butler's pantry?
Pantry, Buttercup. Careful, that's Emma No, you there, put that down. You do not manhandle a Napoleon Abueva.
I can see the expiration, and I have to send the foreman an apologetic glance. Even Johannes rolls his eyes as he goes by. Considering Luke is always like this during a project, Johannes and I haven't have gotten used to it, not forgotten. Poor Marianne, on the other hand, looks a bit stressed at seeing the gigantic mess before quickly going back to work. Everything just has to be perfect, exactly the way he wants it. Only little things out of place, and one little thing that didn't fit the image he clearly constructed in his head, and Luke's gets bent out of shape.
Sweetie, why don't we go and sort your suits upstairs? Let your Hans and Marianne and the foreman deal with the rest of the work.
We have this, Mrs. Wright.
Yes, please do go before a blood vessel bursts. Bloodstains are so troublesome to clean.
Taking him by the hand, I lead him upstairs into our bedroom. This place has been arranged first so that we can get some rest no matter what state the rest of the mansion is. I am definitely glad I can just lie down on a soft comfy bed after what has been a busy morning. Watching Luke act like his life depended on getting this move done is tiring all on its own. And to think I have a whole day of this ahead of me. I feel the bed dip beside me as Luke sits down with a sigh.
Well, I can't wait for this to be over.
I don't know. It's fun seeing you all fired up. Here at home and not at work, you know.
You know I can't always be home, Hana. I have a company to run, unless you've forgotten.
I haven't forgotten. You're the one who insists on being there to make sure each and every little thing is under control. I just really miss you sometimes, and I wish you were at home more often. Why, if you're not careful, I might go a bit loopy and I'll start bringing cats home. And soon enough, one day you'll find yourself going home to a farm just filled with felines that follow you everywhere.
Oh, don't bluff. The things would shred up your precious furniture. Besides, you don't even like cats.
True, true. Dogs are infinitely superior, of course.
But what about the wet dog smell? The mess? I'm not cleaning up after a mutt, no matter how cute. If you think about it, a cat would be better.
We laugh. It's not always that we can just lie down and talk about these sort of things. To joke around as if we're teenagers again, with very little problem in the way of responsibility and roles. To hear his genuine, honest-to-goodness laughter is a rarity. This is just the second time as of late, and I can only see it as signs of good things to come.
All good points. I guess we could just have kids. That is, if you prefer dealing with soiled nappies and sick as opposed to dead birds, mice, and litter boxes. I've already told Marianne about turning the second bedroom into a children's room.
Oh god. I guess sometimes I don't know when I'm crossing a line. I didn't say that I'm a good comedian, did I?
Not this again.
He doesn't want to have children.
What? I wasn't being serious.
It's not something you take the piss out of. Having a kid is a big responsibility, Hana. We've talked about this, haven't we? I'm not ready to be a parent. I'd probably end up killing the little brat by the week's end.
Jeez. Oh my god, he's an asshole. What should I say? I don't think you would be a great father. Apologize for bringing it up, but maybe people change when they get kids. You never know. Let's go with
Carly
that.
likes you well enough.
Oh. The mention of our little goddaughter's places a conflicted look on his face. Sometimes it is cute when he denies having a soft spot for the little girl. But then, sometimes it's sad, and it makes me wonder what happened to make him think so poorly of himself in this regard.
Yes, well, it's Kylie. The tyke likes everybody and, on the off chance she doesn't, likes them well enough as long as they buy her sweets. And sure, that kid is great, but if I get tired of her, I can ship her back to her father at the end of the day.
He reminds me of my best friend. She loves being an aunt, but she never wants to have kids.
Having kids of our own will be a whole different monster entirely.
I have never heard him talk about his father in anything but a business context. I recall Damon Wright kept hearing about him from my own father, even before I met Luke. The business world praised him for running a tight ship, all until one mistake led to a great loss for the enterprise. I was then that news of Luke Wright, prodigy's son and successor to the old man, started to show up, and he aided in its recovery and growth up until the Great Recession. I'm getting a bit off track. Regardless, I have never heard him talk about his father like one would talk about family.
I think you'll be a great father.
Oh, sorry. There is a smile, no matter how half-hearted it may be. I do really think that. He might not be a good, honest man. A part of me knows that, though I try to silence it. But I know Luke well enough that he will be a better father than either Damon Wright or Henry Evans. I love my father, but he never had time.
If it is any consolation, I think you'd be a decent mother.
Oh. On the other hand, I have never heard of his mother. As sun settles, both comfortable and uncomfortable. There is familiarity in each other's company despite the awkwardness that had transpired. Defenses and masks down, without anybody else looking, we are both together and alone in disquiet. Ooh. Shoot. But a crash from downstairs startles us both out of our reverie. Luke lets out a heavy sigh before coming up to his feet and straightening his jacket.
I'll have to attend to that then.
Yeah.
Be good, darling. And watch out for your blood pressure.
He gives me a kiss on the cheek before leaving, while I lay there in a daze. Alone as per usual. I really should be used to it by now. I can feel the minutes tick by with me just lying there, feeling miserable and full of self-pity. I've rolled over to lie on my stomach at this point, with my face buried in the pillows, when there's a knock at the door. The journal. Oh, this picture is cute! No, how adorable. The Wright couple moved to their newly bought mansion today, and it was already preparing for a housewarming party. During a short break, the couple had a brief discussion about children. Luke didn't sound too welcoming of the idea. Grumbling at them to go away doesn't work as a voice comes from the other side.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
Wait, is that today? Oh yes! People had caught wind of our new mansion the very moment we left the open house. Luke had boasted that he could acquire the property in no time and allowed a photo shoot for an interior design magazine to be scheduled today. Well, there were complications and it took longer than it usually does for us.
In a minute, Hansi.
Johannes, if you could at least make it through the end.
Tell them I'll be right down, Hansi.
Oh. The mansion grounds has been one of the first things to be fixed up, aside from the bedroom. Although it's still a work in progress, it had a promising start, and I can already see the flower patches. Luke's favorite daffodil stands out easily, having been transplanted from the pots that used to litter the rooftop of our penthouse. Why, if the moving crew thought that Luke was being hard on them, they clearly didn't see the landscaper on his way out. The man looked like he was ready to faint, and Luke seemed ready to kill him by the end of their discussion. Oh, it's Zach! Oh, how cool. It is in the gardens that I see him standing near the flowers in quiet admiration. He's hard to miss, the hulk of a man that clearly did not belong, and the big backpack and suitcase he has with him makes him look much larger. It is a peculiar sight, seeing someone who looks like he just handling little delicate things with such care. He looks up from the gardens and does a double take before a friendly face replaces his serene expression.
Miss Wright, yeah? Hi, Zachary Steele here from Luxury Living, ma'am. Hope you weren't waiting too long. But it looks like you're still moving in, huh? Thought for a second there my calendar was wrong and I came here too early.
The one and only. Welcome, welcome to Maison de Right. And yes, we've been in the process of moving in as we were delayed. But it won't be a problem. They're just adding a few things here and there, and you should still be able to do your work. Where's the rest of your crew then, Mr. Steele?
Zach is fine, please. Mr. Steele makes me feel like I'm a mascot for a cleaning product. Anyway, I'll be your one-man crew for today. Don't worry, been doing this gig for a while now.
You must be quite the veteran to handle this on your own. We've had a full crew coming into our penthouse the last time we were covered in your magazine.
Veteran? Oh, your words are too kind, Miss Wright.
Hannah, if I get to call you Zach, you have my permission to call me Hannah.
Alrighty then. Anyway, I'm no veteran, but I know my camera well enough to make sure this is a good shoot. You can trust me on that, Miss Wright, Hannah.
Okay. Zachary proves quickly enough that I can, in fact, trust him. His skills with the camera and experience in his industry at the very least. He is kind and courteous, listening and following as I lead him around the house. A really nice fellow, and he treats our household staff well whenever we cross paths with them. I answer his questions to the best of my ability, and he is patient enough to answer mine whenever I get curious enough. For one, I ask what the bags are for. They are quite the magician's toolkit. From inside, he had procured several items to embellish the interior with. Bowls of fruits, lemons, trays with peppermills, stacks of cookbooks, cutting boards, and glass canisters filled with colorful nuts and grains are brought in for a kitchen setting. For the bathroom, there are white towels, seashells, and decorative soaps. There are other things as well, too numerous to count, all in the large backpack and suitcase.
Tricks of the trade. Softens up a room, makes a place feel more homey, and fills it up with texture. But you guys probably have better stuff I can use for this.
No lights. Don't tell me all of these are just props.
Well, I've got my tripod here. For things like these, natural light is best. I'll just have to set the shutter speed to a real slow setting, and as long as nobody steps into the shot, it'll look great.
Oh, it better.
We go through the rooms one at a time, although we first tackle the ones that the movers have no business in anymore. The ballroom needs little preparation with its grand design. It looks pretty. Although there is some trouble at first with the wide open space and the pictures being backlit. It is in the kitchen that Zachary's props came in handy. Considering how Joanne's kept the place so neat and sterile, one can practically eat off the floor. We carry on touring the house and taking pictures where we can, with exception to the rooms which have yet to gain any purpose or design. Too bad I can't take a sneak peek at the photos yet. Funnily enough, he's using a traditional camera. I didn't even know film still existed. With the way he speaks, however, I can see that he knows enough about his craft, and I'm not too worried about budget photograph. I imagine photography must be cathartic for him, judging by how at ease he looks while taking pictures. There are small snippets of conversations in between the clicking of the camera. He even goes far as to talk about these terminologies like shutter speeds and aperture when I ask about the technical aspects. I can't quite see the picture as it's made, much like when I watch artists paint on their canvas. But just watching someone passionately practicing their craft such as this is exciting in its own way. Going through the many rooms has been quite the exercise for the both of us. Oh, that's pretty. But guys, I'm going to leave this episode right here. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe to my channel. If you're already subscribed, click on the notification bell down below so you get notified when I upload my videos. Share us on all your social media, and guys, I will see you in the future or back in the letter. Bye bye. She is indeed really pretty.